How y'all doing? This is Mongo Slade, and today we're going to talk about John Cena saying that ain't gonna work for me, brother, to Jack Swagger. But first, hit the like button for me. Also, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you are already subscribed, thank you for being subscribed. So this is from Fightful. Apparently, Jack Swagger, or Jake Hager as he's known now, was on Talk is Jericho. So Fightful actually gives some context, which is good because I have no memory of this stuff. It's 10 years old. So it says, in March 2010, Jake Hager, Jack Swagger in WWE, was the holder of the Money in the Bank briefcase, giving him a shot at either the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship at any moment. Hager ended up cashing in on Chris Jericho, winning the World Heavyweight title in the process, but the original plan seemed to call for him to cash in on John Cena in the WWE Championship. Speaking to Chris Jericho on Talk is Jericho, Hager discussed how his cash in on Jericho and not Cena came about. So then this is from Jack Swagger. He says, I had a little inclination, but I had no idea what was going to happen. The night before, I teased it on Raw. I hit Cena with the briefcase. I snuck up on him when he had one of his brilliant promo segments. Later, come to find out, he refused to do the job for me for the WWE Championship. We won't talk about that. Ugh. Quote, the most unselfish top man in the business. That was in Phoenix. I got a call that night to come to Vegas. We get to the building. I get there 30 minutes early, so I'm waiting. I see John Laurinaitis go into the office. Here you, Jericho, comes into the office. Here Edge comes. I was going to come in behind you guys, and the door shuts. It was about 5 minutes, and I go in there. When he was in there, it was all laid out. You turned to me and was like, you better not fuck this up. And you were dead serious and very sincere. It always reminded me of my best wrestling coach. Once you said that, I looked up to you, and I knew that I could trust you. Okay, so they talked about him holding the title for 79 days before losing it to Rey Mysterio. But, so that is what Jack Swagger had to say. And guess what? John Cena was not wrong. John Cena did nothing wrong. He didn't do nothing wrong. You tell bums like Jack Swagger, no. No. We're not doing that. Doesn't work for me, brother. Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. John Cena is smart. He's smart. Okay? He knew to just, come on, man. Look, I was okay with Jack Swagger being the World Heavyweight Champion with the Swagger soaring eagle and him, running around in a circle. I was cool with all that. But he had no business being in that position. He had no business being in that position. As a matter of fact, I think what titles had Swagger won by that point? I think he might have been the U.S. champion at that point. I'm pretty sure he was never the Intercontinental champion. I think he won it at a house show, but it was thrown out. Let me look up Jack Swagger's WWE title runs, because I don't know if he had actually if he might have been like one of those untested champions. And Cena was right to not put the title on him. The guy had pretty much no steam behind him. So, but it was kind of weird. Well, he was the ECW champion. Okay, that wasn't good. And that was pretty much it before he won the Money in the Bank. He was just the ECW champion, and then he won the World Heavyweight title. So they kind of was pushing him because of his amateur background, which is it's not the wrong thing to do. You got to give the guy a shot. He's pretty big, but he was kind of dopey with the hair, his hair standing up straight up on his head. It was kind of dopey. The all-American, it was pretty stupid, but I fully support the Cena decision. That Cena decision is great, and for all of the people who thought like, WWE, man, they so controlling. For this guy to basically just look at Jack Swagger and just be like, nah, I ain't. Nope. And the guys who Cena pissed off, like Tyler Rex, his situation with Tyler Rex was pretty silly because, Tyler Rex is doing the Burning Hammer, which is very similar to the FU. And Cena got in his ass about it. That is a crazy story. And you should probably listen to Honorable TV talk about when he talked to Tyler Rex about it. It's absolutely insane. And John Cena came across as being one of the most insecure people in the world. But also Alex Riley, who was apparently also Cena was supposed to put over, and he was just like, nope, he's not going to do that one either. But you have to be smart. And you don't get to be a top guy in this business if you're really just going to do jobs for everybody. Jericho is lucky because he came across at a time where he could get over doing that stuff. You could, if it was the 80s or the 90s, it never would have worked. Him just being so willing to lay down for people, but when you're Cena, when you're Hogan, when you're The Rock, you're Steve Austin. Like Steve Austin told guys no a bunch. Jarrett, Mark Merrow. Just a lot of guys got told nope. We're not don't want to do it. Don't want to work with him. If I remember correct, I think he also stiff armed Val Venus. I think he also didn't want to work with Val Venus. So it was like quite a few guys, who, they on the verge of getting pushed, and then somebody at the top of the mountain is just like looking at them like, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think it's gonna work. And then they turn away. And you gotta have your top guys gotta have that instinct. You pick them for a reason. Now let them pick their successor. That makes sense to me. And Jack Swagger not being the guy is perfectly fine. I wish he wasn't the world heavyweight champion, if we be honest. And I was one of the people who was okay with him being the world heavyweight champion. Just that he was a dork. He was funny because he was a dork. But when he was the world heavyweight champion, he stopped being a dork. He started being super serious, and that didn't really work out for me. I wanted goofy Swagger with the soaring eagle, like that would have been great. But I don't know. But Jack Swagger is one of those guys where they kept pushing him because he has size and he got a background. But even AEW can't get anything out of this guy. So really, what did they do wrong? But let me know if you think John Cena was wrong in the comment section below. Obviously, John Cena was correct, and if you disagree, I would like for you to lay out the argument why you believe John Cena should have did the job. But talk to you guys later. Thank you again.